Hello, good morning, beautiful creatives. Trust we had a good night rest. My name is Eva Grant Mukuku. I'm the CEO and the creative director of Eva's Closet. So today, the 18th day of November, is the day 18 of the CMA 30-day Millinery Challenge. Yes, we've started this since on the 1st of November 2025. Each day, one milliner has spoken about one millinery material or the other. And today, the 18th day of the 30-day Millinery Challenge, I am here to speak to us about velvet fabric as a millinery material. Yes, velvet fabric. So one may ask, what's the meaning of CMA? Okay, for those of us that doesn't know, CMA means Creative Milliners Association. Creative Milliners Association. Yes, it's a body. We are global. It's a body that is holding milliners across the globe. Yes. So back to the topic of the day. We are here to speak about velvet, aka akoche. Yes, the same akoche, like we call it locally here in Nigeria. We actually refer to it as akoche. Some people, when you say velvet in the market, they may not even know that once you mention akoche, everybody knows it. So that's what I'm going to speak about today. So, where did velvet originate from? One can ask. Yes, it is believed that velvet originally originated from the Middle East, the ancient Egypt to be precise. You can see a very luxurious fabric. And if you know how the Middle Easterners dress, you know that truly it is believed that this velvet originated from there. So there are various types of velvet. It comes in different colors. Beautiful colors. With me here, I have the wine color, I have the black with me, I have the purple. It has various colors. I don't think there is any color you look for in velvet that you will not find. And any of them can be well represented in making a hat, making a fascinator, creating an embellishment for your fascinator, and whatever you can do, whatever your creativity can permit you to do with any other millinery material, you can do that with velvet. You may not really differentiate the velvet fabrics. The only particular way we differentiate it here is when you go to the market, they ask you, do you want the big one or the small one? This here, look at it properly, this represents the big fabric, big velvet, the way they refer to it. And this purple represents the small fabric, velvet fabric. You can look at the way it's rolling. This doesn't roll that way. Even though it's stretchy as well, it doesn't roll that way. Now, one more tip of knowing the big velvet fabric. It stretches only on one end. Look at this. It doesn't stretch on this end, but on this end it stretches. And the small one, it stretches both ways. That's when you are picking your velvet fabric to work with. Take note of that because it goes a long way to give you exactly what you want from the velvet fabric. Now, there is silk velvet, there is cotton velvet, there is stretch velvet, like the one I just showed you now. It stretches both ways. Though the other side of it doesn't stretch as much as, the both ways doesn't stretch same. One stretches more than the other. One side stretches more than the other for the stretchy velvet fabric. Now, what are the tips and tricks of working with velvet fabric? Because it stretches, one of the most important tips of working with a velvet fabric is, most especially when you want to create a structure from it, when you want to make things like 3D flowers. Yes, you can use them to make flowers or embellishment or whatever. You need to stabilize it. What do I mean by stabilizing it? You need to infuse with iron, hairstay or paper stay. And another tip is, when you are infusing, use a steam iron always. Use a steam iron. It helps you to achieve. Another tip, don't iron directly on the velvet surface. If you need to iron the velvet surface, please place a cotton fabric on it before you iron, steam iron or not. so that it still maintains this lushfulness of it. It still maintains its beauty. Another tip of working with velvet fabric is, look at it. If you begin to cut horizontally, maintain that horizontal way of cutting. If you cut horizontal and then cut vertically and add it, it gives two shades. Still the same color, but closely looking at it, it gives two shades. Then to block velvet, if you want to block velvet, never ever soak it before blocking. If you must make it damp, use steam. Otherwise, you place it on an already blocked mat or princess mat or CMA or whatever you are working with. You place it on an already blocked one. The stiffener should be inside. Never allow the stiffener to touch here. Once the stiffener touches the surface, the beauty will never remain the same. I hope someone is following. Yeah. And I hope someone is going to practice all I have been saying here about the tips and tricks and everything I've been saying about working with velvet fabric. Why did it become popular in millinery? It absorbs dye beautifully. Yeah. Give it a try and leave a feedback in the comment section. Try dyeing a velvet. It absorbs dye very, very, very well. So peradventure you don't have the exact color you want, or you want to create something that will be your own signature, a color that will be your own signature, try dyeing your velvet fabric. It comes out well in it. So I'm going to show you some of the works made out of velvet. This is made out of the purple velvet, the small velvet fabric. When you feel it, you will know where it lies. So these are one of the things you can create with a velvet fabric, one of the headpieces you can create with a velvet fabric. You can see one of the reasons why velvet became popular in the millinery world is because it pairs very well with any type of feathers, veiling, brooches, beading, any embellishment you can lay your hands upon. Velvet pairs well with them. For instance, you can see what I have here is multicolor and it pairs perfectly. You can also use a velvet material, velvet fabric as a trimming. You know what we normally use a Peter charm to trim. You can use a velvet fabric to trim. A good example is this hat I have on here. This is a wide brim made of velvet and web placemats. You can see the trim here, the edges here is finished with a velvet fabric. The crown too is a velvet fabric. These that I've shown you are one of the many headpieces or fascinator or whatever you can call it that can be achievable with a velvet fabric. With velvet fabric, I'm telling you that is a 10/10 across border. Just learn your tips, learn your tricks, and off you go. Try them and leave a feedback. Yes. So I believe I've given us a good insight on the use of velvet as a millinery fabric. I know before now maybe we do not really know that velvet can go more than just covering an already made crown or an already made fascinator. You can use it to create flowers that will be your own signature. Flowers that you can create depending on your creativity, depending on what you can bring to the table, depending on what you can offer. You can use velvet to create roses. You can use them to create leaves. You can use them to create any structure at all. And that will be owned to you. That will be your own signature. Yes, you can see I even used the velvet to wrap my Alice band properly. And for those of us milliners that are yet to join the CMA, I encourage you, come on board. Yeah, come on board CMA, and you will have a lot to learn. So, I guess I've done justice to today's topic. Until I come your way again, I remain Eva Grant Okuku, CEO, Creative Director, Eva's Closets. Ciao!